Good evening, my viewers and subscribers. Yeah, I'm back on. If it's the first time on my channel, do like, share, comment, and subscribe. This is a follow-up on a news that I put out before about the fishermen who were kidnapped at sea. Let me get the headline. Jackson accused Foreign Affairs Minister of dishonesty in a case of fishermen. Opposition spokesman on national security, Fitz Jackson, has accused the government of being dishonest in its explanation of the situation involving the 5 fishermen held at sea last September by the U.S. Coast Guard and allegedly taken captive for a month under inhumane condition. 4 of the 5 men, through the American Civil Liberties Union, ACLU, and law firm Stroock and Lavan, are now suing the U.S. Coast Guard, claiming degrading treatment and appalling human rights violation. In every matter involving a foreign government, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs is the conduit. Even with extraditing matters, it doesn't come through the Ministry of National Security. It comes through the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs cannot plead ignorance. And that's why the minister is being dishonest, not disingenuous, Jackson's charge. He described the case as repugnant as having granted the waiver under the shipwright riders agreement for the U.S. Coast Guard to detain the Jamaican nationals and board their vessel, the Dishonesty. The government's responsibility was to have continued interaction with the U.S. authorities on the status of the individuals. It is a clear dereliction of duty on part of the Jamaican government, Jackson's argued. Jackson said the minister has refused to acknowledge that the ministry fell down in its duty to care for the fishermen. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade is headed by Camilla Johnson-Smith. I hope I pronounced her name properly. In her explanation to the Senate last week, Johnson-Smith, the ministry, was unaware of the situation until it came to public attention. She said further that there is no record of any complaint or mistreatment lodged with the Jamaican government since the time of the arrest by the U.S. authority in 2017, including during their deportation from the United States in 2018, when they engaged directly with the staff of the Consulate General in Miami, nor on their return to Jamaica. But Jackson countered that families would not necessarily be aware that they should have reported their missing relatives to the Foreign Affairs Ministry. If they, the Foreign Affairs Ministry, who should have informed the National Security Ministry, because they know they give the people authority to board the vessel. In this case, the government knew because they were advised, he stated. I don't think people really understand the gravity of this relictions of duties for all of us as Jamaicans. I can't even call the word. He said, he had it. The men are claiming for false imprisonment, negligence, cruelty, inhumane, and degrading treatment in violation of international law. Compensatory damage for the destruction of the Dishonesty and its contents, batteries, intentionally inflicted of emotional distress, negligent inflicted of emotional distress, forced disappearance in violation of customary international law, and compensatory and punitive damage for violation of maritime law in an amount that is fair, just, and reasonable. The U.S. Coast Guard has disputed some of the claiming that it saw the men dumping approximately 600 pounds of marijuana, which was recovered, and the basis on which the waiver was sought from the Jamaica government. My viewers and subscribers, I know many of the names, I don't call them properly, but those who following me and really realize that sometimes some of these words, we never use them, so we don't know them, will bear in mind with me. My haters, I love you all, and I don't care what you have to say. We're just talking about our Jamaican people and how they were treated out there. I know many of us thought or said or quoted that they were doing drugs affair out there and not being fishermen. We cannot and we will not say it is so or it's not so. All I'm asking is your view on this. Has the Ministry of Fear done their part? Who are the people responsible? And what have they done so far? And many of these laws, how many people on the island, including myself, knew about all this kind of law? And when someone is in lockup, who are the best persons to say that they are in the detention or on the boat or wherever on the ship or in a foreign country when they're accused of such criminal intent and then not being in a violation of anything and not being charged? Let me hear views. And let me hear what you have to say. This is the Apostle out of Zurich saying shalom.